On our third wedding anniversary, my domineering CEO husband said he had prepared a surprise for me and told me to arrive at the open-air terrace on the top floor of the Sovereign Club at exactly 7 that evening. He had prepared a surprise for me, and I had prepared a surprise for him too, so I arrived early. But I heard an even bigger surprise. The terrace was just on the other side of the wall. Bro, since you love Sis-in-law so much, why are you still involved with that little assistant? The apartment you asked me to transfer the title for the day before yesterday, was that for that woman? Selena is gentle and virtuous. She's suitable to be a wife. But only suitable to be a wife. She's too obedient. And many times, I can't bear to force her. What will you do if Sis-in-law finds out? She won't find out. What a coincidence. I found out. Chapter 1. Almost instinctively, I remembered the many times he had kissed me until I was dizzy with passion, then buried his head in the crook of my neck and coaxed me with that uniquely seductive voice of his, "Honey, just once, okay?" He wanted me to use my mouth on him. I refused. I thought it was too shameful. Even when he kissed me until my whole body went soft, I still refused. He had begged me several times, but it was true that he had never forced me. So he cheated because of that? Back when he pursued me, I was only 17 and in my first year of university. Even among wealthy families, there was a hierarchy of contempt. My family was at the bottom of the wealthy circle, the kind of French rich family that could collapse and go bankrupt if one major decision by the group's senior management went wrong. Just a small fry on the edge of the elite world. But his family stood at the very top of the pyramid. When he said he liked me, I didn't believe it. But he pursued me relentlessly, throwing money and resources at me. Somehow, he helped me, a university student still in school, drive away the illegitimate daughter and son my father had brought to claim kinship, and helped me obtain absolute controlling power of the group. Before I was 17, I had always thought my parents were very much in love, until that pair of siblings showed up at my door. Only then did I learn that before I was even born, my father had already had another family outside. My worldview collapsed. A happy family. Parents who loved me. Every little moment from childhood until adulthood. All those beautiful memories were like shattered glass. Never again able to piece together a complete picture. I was heartbroken. I collapsed. I cried bitterly. I almost shut myself away from the world. It was Alex. He was the one who pulled me out of the abyss. Back then, when he pursued me, he did it so openly that everyone knew. He never avoided showing his love for me. He was clearly the boss of a group being interviewed on a financial program. Someone who never allowed others to gossip about his private life. Yet he brought me up on his own, holding his phone and smiling with gentle indulgence. "It's my girl's WeChat. I'll reply before we continue. She's a little clingy. If I don't reply in time, she'll be unhappy." I knew he had an interview that day, so I hadn't messaged him at all. That damn man had directed and acted out the whole thing himself. Before the program even finished airing, Weibo's trending searches exploded. The top spots were all phrases about the consortium prince openly showing off his love. They stayed there for 3 whole days. It made me into a giant panda at school, surrounded and stared at by everyone. At that time, we were in the passionate stage of our relationship. On the weekend, he picked me up and took me to his house. I twisted his ear and warned him to keep a lower profile in the future. He flipped over and pressed me beneath him, his eyes so affectionate they could make even a dog look loved. Looking terribly wronged. What? Am I someone who can't be seen? I want the whole world to know that Selena is my girlfriend, and that I am Selena's future husband. I thought he was so childish, yet I couldn't help but be wildly moved by that burning love. Chapter 2. The year I graduated, he planned a proposal that shook the entire capital. On the outer walls of the landmark building at the center of the CBD were all sweet photos of the two of us in love. Drones, a rain of flower petals, a diamond ring the size of a pigeon egg, red roses covering everything as far as the eye could see, 20% of the consortium's shares, his parents, relatives, brothers, friends, and my mother all witnessed it. I was so moved that I nodded while crying, and I refused the shares he gave me. He insisted that I sign immediately. Everyone was watching me, waiting for me. I couldn't keep the situation frozen forever. Besides, at that time, I had never thought I would separate from him. I thought that husband and wife were one. and that it was the same no matter whose hands the shares were in. So I signed. He gently kissed the tear tracks on my cheeks. Then he smoothly gave me a 3-minute French kiss. After we got married, he said he couldn't bear to see me exhausted by work. He was already very busy. If I was busy with work all day too, where would we find the time to be in love? Even though we were married, he still wanted to date me. He wanted to be in love with me for the rest of his life. He coaxed me until I completely lost my sense of direction. I hired a professional manager to run the family group, and peacefully became a full-time housewife at home. Aside from being busy with work, he spent all his time with me. I thought living like a pampered freeloader wasn't bad either. Someone loved me and doted on me. Why tire myself out? I once had a sense of crisis too, and asked him, there are too many temptations in our circle. In the future, one day, when I'm no longer beautiful, when I'm old, will you fall for someone else? Will you betray me? He vowed solemnly, no, absolutely not. If one day I betray you, then may I be hit by a car the moment I step outside, choked to death while eating. My heart was filled so completely by him that I didn't allow him to keep speaking. I kissed his lips. Chapter 3. All those memories of the past. They were still vivid before my eyes. If I had not heard it with my own ears, even if someone beat me to death, I would never have believed that Alex, who kept saying he loved me, who gave me so many resources to support me, who gave me shares to protect me, who learned to cook for me, who cried from heartache when I was sick, who loved me to the bone, would betray me, just because I was too obedient and couldn't let go in bed, couldn't satisfy him completely? Then what did all his words of love count for? He loved me, yet he could still sleep with another woman. Was that still love? I felt my scalp go numb, and my whole body trembled uncontrollably. My heart contracted violently. It hurt so much I could hardly breathe. I loved him, at least before tonight. I really loved him so much. I regarded him as the salvation of my life, a gift from heaven, compensation given to me. But it was precisely him who delivered the fatal blow and stabbed me in the place that hurt the most. In that instant, I only wanted to run away. I didn't know how to face it. Using the last shred of my reason, I forced myself to turn around and go downstairs. I got into the car. In my hand, I was still clutching the gift I had prepared for Alex. I didn't know how long I sat there in a daze, until the phone rang. Looking at the word husband on the screen, my heart hurt as if it were being carved by knives. The phone rang until it hung up automatically. The person on the other end called several more times. Finally, I answered the phone. Hello. My voice was hoarse and choked. Alex immediately sensed something was wrong. Selena. What's wrong? What happened? Where are you? He asked several questions in a row. When he received no answer, his tone grew even more urgent. Selena. Selena. Can you hear me? Tell me where you are. I'll come right away. No matter what happened. Don't be afraid. Selena. Selena. I'm listening. I finally spoke. Alex. I want to divorce you. Clatter. It seemed to be the sound of the phone falling to the floor on the other end. Then came a burst of chaotic noise. Finally, Alex picked up the phone and asked in disbelief. Selena, what did you say? I said, we're getting divorced. Chapter 4. After sitting there blankly for so long, there were only two thoughts in my mind: divorce, revenge. But in the end, I still gave up on the idea of revenge. To be fair, he had indeed treated me very, very well all these years. Without him, my mother and I would have long since been driven mad by the son and daughter my father had kept outside. Now, I had absolute controlling power over the family group, 20% of the shares in Alex's family consortium, and a mother who had loved me dearly since I was little. I no longer wanted revenge. Let him go, and let myself go too. Alex had probably guessed something and ran down in a panic from the top floor terrace. Today, he had prepared a drone show, wanting to relive our old dream with me. Unfortunately, it would no longer be needed. He saw my car parked in the garage and rushed over. He yanked hard at the car door, but couldn't open it, so he switched to knocking on the window. Selena. Selena. Open the door. Listen to my explanation. They were just joking earlier. Did you hear something? Open the door first. Selena. Selena. I rolled down the window, whether it was a joke or not. You know very well in your heart, Alex. You clearly know that I hate cheating men the most. My father cheated and destroyed my family. Now you're doing the same. My coldness and stubbornness made him very unhappy. It's not like that, Selena. I just couldn't bear to force you. She's just a little plaything. She won't threaten your position. I've already been good enough to you. You're the one who refused to compromise for me. I found someone else, but I didn't bring it in front of you. Can't you try to understand me? Unreasonable. I closed the car window and slammed on the gas. The black Cullinan disappeared into the night. Alex stood where my car had been parked and irritably tugged at his tie. Several of his good friends chased after him. Alex, where's Sis-in-law? Did you two fight? Alex. Alex flew into a rage. What day is it today? You clearly knew I prepared a surprise for Selena. What nonsense were you all talking about just now? She heard everything. Chapter 5. The men looked at one another, silent as cicadas in winter. Alex had told them the appointment was at 7. At the time, it wasn't even 6 yet. How could they have expected me to arrive so early and hear their entire conversation? In the deathly silence, one of Alex's good friends comforted him. Alex, don't be too nervous. Sis-in-law has been with you since she was 18 and has never worked. The brothers have all seen how well you treat her. In this circle, which family doesn't have a little dirty business? In my opinion, Sis-in-law is just too immature. His words were echoed by the others. Exactly, Alex. In a circle like ours, there are naturally many temptations. Mistresses and side pieces are far too normal. What legitimate wife would bother competing with women outside? You've just spoiled Sis-in-law too much. Ignore her for a few days and give her a sense of crisis. She'll naturally compromise. If she gives up the position of wife, there will be a pile of women rushing forward to take it. So what if you kept a woman outside? How big of a deal is that? Exactly. If Sis-in-law knows, then she knows. This kind of thing can't be hidden forever. She would have found out sooner or later. It's better that she knows early and accepts it early. In the future, you won't have to waste effort hiding it either. Alex was extremely irritated. He knew very well what the atmosphere in their circle was like, but he also knew very well what kind of person I was. I couldn't tolerate even a grain of sand in my eyes. After returning home, I took off the wedding ring on my ring finger and threw it onto the bedside table in the master bedroom. I packed my things. I smashed every photo of him and me in the villa. Then I carried my suitcase and moved into an apartment under my name. I had no mood to shower, and no mood to remove my makeup. Today, I had specially dressed up carefully for him. With a heart full of joy, I had gone to celebrate our 3rd anniversary. Yet what I received was a result that struck me like a bolt from the blue. I ordered takeout. I drank a lot of alcohol. When I was studying, I did have friends and close girlfriends, but ever since I started dating him, my circle had become smaller and smaller, and my social circle had overlapped with his. His good friends' girlfriends and wives had become my friends. Now that things had come to this, I didn't even have a single friend I could call out for a drink, nor could I go to my mother. After my mother and I took control of the group, we sent my father, who had been so enraged he was half paralyzed, to a nursing home to fend for himself. My mother had been gentle and virtuous for half her life, a good woman in everyone's mouth. After the divorce, she completely let herself go and traveled around the world. In the videos and photos she sent back, every so often, she would change to a different type of male model. She really did change types. White-skinned ones, yellow-skinned ones, blue-eyed ones, green-eyed ones, straight-haired ones, curly-haired ones. Anyway, they were all quite good-looking. I didn't want to disturb my mother's travels. I was already this old. I might as well solve my own problems myself. I didn't know how many glasses I drank. I didn't know when I fell asleep, and I knew even less when Alex came. Chapter 6. When I woke up the next day, the moment I opened my eyes, I saw Alex in a bathrobe lying beside me, his 8-pack abs exposed, looking at me with those affectionate dog-like eyes of his. The hangover made my head ache. My body was also wrapped in a bathrobe. That damn man had bathed me again. In certain aspects, his needs were indeed very strong. Sometimes I was directly made to faint, and it was not the first time he had bathed me and changed my clothes afterward. In the past, I only thought he was very considerate. Now, as soon as I thought of him keeping someone outside and letting that woman do the things I refused to do, I felt that his handsome face had become extremely hateful and disgusting. Even breathing the same air as him in the same room made me feel sick enough to vomit. And I really did vomit, forcing down the discomfort in my stomach. I actually rushed into the bathroom and only threw up after bending over the toilet. I had just flushed the toilet. The next second, he was already kneeling on one knee beside me, holding a cup of warm water. Rinse your mouth. I pushed him away hard. Who allowed you to come in? Selena. Get out. I had no patience to listen to him speak. I'll have a lawyer draft the divorce agreement. Of course. If you're willing to do it for me, that's fine too. You've helped me a lot over the years, and I'm very grateful to you. But I also gave you my youth and my feelings. You were the one who cheated. You were the one who destroyed our home. You are the party at fault. I'll take the 20% of the consortium's shares, and I want half of all your income after marriage. Alex realized that I was serious, that I really wanted to divorce him, and he panicked. Selena, at worst, I'll cut things off with her. Can we not divorce? I promise I'll never do that kind of thing again, okay? Promise? I laughed. Heh, you mean promise not to let me find out? Selena, get out. Get out. My emotions suddenly collapsed. Like a madwoman, I grabbed everything within reach and smashed it at him. He was hit all over by a toothbrush cup, a foot bath basin, and all kinds of expensive skincare products. Calm down. Chapter 7. We began a Cold War. The Cold War lasted for a week. When I called him, he didn't answer. When I went to his villa, he avoided seeing me. He was hiding from me. He hoped that time would make me change my mind about the divorce. Holding the divorce agreement, I went directly to his company to find him. I was the CEO's wife. No one would stop me. When I was dating him, he had brought me to the company and told the front desk and his special assistant that no matter when I came, no one was allowed to stop me. I took the CEO's private elevator and smoothly arrived at the CEO's office on the top floor. Outside the door, I heard a woman's delicate, coquettish voice. Alex, you were too much last night. My body still hurts even now. How are you going to make it up to me? Alex had been in a bad mood these days, and he had vented all his pent-up desire on Lily. The bag you said you liked last time, I had someone buy it for you from Country F. It should arrive in the next few days. Thank you, Alex. I knew you cared about me the most. Lily sat on Alex's lap, wrapped her arms around his neck, and clung to him with her entire body. Alex suddenly felt inexplicably uneasy. Enough. Go out first. I still have things to do. Lily knew very well how to read people's expressions. She kissed him stickily on the face, then obediently got up and left. It was at this moment that I pushed open the door. Seeing me, Alex shot up from the sofa in the lounge area of the CEO's office. Lily, meanwhile, walked toward me with a smile. Her eyes were full of provocation as she tugged at her collar, revealing the clear hickeys on her neck. Madam, why did you come in without knocking? Slap. Without another word, I slapped her across the face. I did not hold back even the slightest bit of strength. Lily fell onto the floor, covering her face and sobbing quietly. Alex also walked toward me and glanced at Lily on the floor. Get out! Lily looked at him with grievance, bit her lip, got up, and ran out. The door closed. Alex raised his hand, wanting to hug me. I shoved the divorce agreement I had already signed at him. Sign it. I can't wait to make room for your little lover. Alex tore up the divorce agreement in his hand and spoke in a tone of earnest persuasion. Selena, how many men in this circle are truly clean and faithful? Unless he's incapable, why can other legitimate wives turn a blind eye? Yet you insist on clinging to this tiny matter? A tiny matter? I looked at him as if I had never truly known him before. If cheating is a tiny matter, then why don't we just each play our own games? If you can accept that, then I can accept this. Selena! He flew into a rage. You are my woman. You want to cuckold me? The top of my head is already greener than the Hulunber grassland. Why can you do it, but I can't? I'm the one supporting you. He blurted out without thinking. I laughed from anger. When we got married, he said, I'll support you. Now that he had cheated, he said, I'm the one supporting you. Sure enough, This was what love became in the end. You're shameless. As I spoke, I slapped him. A dignified young master from a rich family, the sole heir to the group, had never had his face slapped by anyone from childhood to adulthood. For the first time, I learned that his eyes could become that red. I sensed the anger he was suppressing. The gap in physical strength between men and women made me instinctively feel afraid. I subconsciously took 2 steps back. He suddenly stepped forward, grabbed my arm, hoisted me over his shoulder, and strode into the adjoining lounge. I was thrown onto the soft mattress. He pressed down over me, gripping my neck. Selena, how did I never know before that you were this bold? You even dare slap my face. I couldn't speak and was almost unable to breathe. He released my neck and blocked my lips with his mouth. He physically punished me, leaning beside my ear. He bit my earlobe, softened his attitude, and coaxed me. Honey, you've hit me too. You should have cooled off now, right? I didn't dare provoke him again, but I didn't answer him either. When I didn't speak, he got angry again and punished me until I passed out from exhaustion. When I woke up, it was already 10 o'clock the next morning. I showered in his lounge and changed clothes. He always kept spare clothes for me here. I walked out of the lounge. Several senior executives were being scolded by him. They all looked at me together, their eyes filled with pleas for help. In the past, at times like this, as long as I opened my mouth, they would be saved. Without saying a word, I left his office and returned to my own home. Chapter 8. That night, I received Lily's WeChat friend request. I accepted it. She immediately sent me several photos. Alex was lying on the bed, his sleeping face tinged with satisfaction. She was pressed against Alex's cheek, kissing him. She was kneeling at Alex's feet, while Alex's hand pressed against the back of her head. She also sent me a voice message. Alex is really amazing in bed. Isn't he, sis? Disgusting. I threw up again. So disgusting. I saved the pictures and sent them to Alex. By tomorrow night, I want to see the divorce agreement signed by you. Otherwise, I'll sue you in court. Also, thank your little lover for the evidence she sent. The next night, Alex indeed came. I opened the door and let him in, getting straight to the point. Did you bring the divorce agreement? If not, I have one drafted here. You can just sign it directly. He hugged me. I couldn't break free. In the physical sense, I truly couldn't break free. He had fixed times every week for working out, and he could bench press 80 kilograms. How could I possibly be his match? Since I couldn't struggle free, I lowered my head and bit the arm he was using to restrain me. The taste of blood spread between my lips and teeth. I heard him suck in a sharp breath from the pain, but he still did not let go of me. He lowered his head to kiss me, coaxing me, his tone almost pleading. Selena, I won't agree to the divorce. I've already sent her abroad. She'll never come back in this lifetime. I know I was wrong. Selena, back then, I fell in love with you at first sight, and I had to go through so much effort to win you over. 3 years of marriage, and I got carried away. It was wrong of me to chase excitement, but I love you. Selena, I have always loved you. You can hit me, scold me, bite me. You can do whatever you want. Let's not divorce. I promise there won't be a next time. Absolutely no next time. Selena. Selena. I struggled until I had no strength left. He carried me into the bedroom and pulled off his tie to bind me. I lifted my foot in disgust and kicked him. He grabbed my ankle and easily pressed me beneath him. I cried and cursed him. Let go of me, Alex. Get out, you bastard. You son of a bitch. Don't touch me. You're so dirty. So dirty. Don't touch me. Don't touch me. In the face of absolute strength, all resistance was useless. I collapsed weakly on the bed, letting him do whatever he wanted. His movements became more and more gentle, and he kept coaxing me. Selena, I love you. Honey. Chapter 9. The next day, he brought me back to his villa. I was imprisoned. All my communication devices were confiscated. I had thought that what was written in novels was nothing more than exaggerated plot devices. It was the 21st century. How could anyone still play out this kind of imprisonment and forced love scenario? Yet this kind of thing really still existed. And it happened to me. He began coming home from work on time every day and pushed aside all evening social engagements. I became silent and withdrawn. No matter what he said, I did not speak. At first, he patiently coaxed me, took me to the places where we had once dated, hoping to use the beauty of the past to win me back. Later, when he realized he could not outstubborn me, and that no matter what he did or said, I would not respond with even half a sentence, he became irritable. He used all his strength on my body, telling me over and over beside my ear that as long as I opened my mouth and begged for mercy, he would stop. But I only turned my face away in disgust. I could not escape, so I began a hunger strike in protest. I fainted several times. He had the doctor forcibly inject me with nutritional fluids. In the end, he was afraid of me. He changed tactics, holding me and forcing me to look at his phone. Selena, look, who is this? The person in the video was my mother. My face showed terror. After a long time without speaking, my voice was hoarse beyond recognition. What do you want to do? I don't want to do anything. Selena, I only want us to go back to the past. He pressed close to my ear, like a demon whispering, you don't want anything to happen to your mother either, right? Alex, my whole body trembled. I hate you. Go die. Go die. His eyes were filled with shattered panic, yet he forced himself to confront me. Selena, as long as you obediently remain my wife, how could I ever be disrespectful to my mother-in-law? But if you insist on divorcing me and leaving me, you know very well that toward strangers, I have always been ruthless. Tears fell in large drops. I broke down and cried. He wrapped me in his arms and rubbed the top of my head. Selena, I don't want to treat you like this either. You're too disobedient. Isn't it better to be like before? Obediently be my wife, and I'll still dote on you like I used to. Sure enough, once an unequal marriage begins to fall apart, the person in the lower position becomes passive. I could only compromise. No. I was lying low, waiting for the right moment. Chapter 10. After crying hard, I fiercely bit him on the neck. Alex, only this once. There will be no next time. If you dare betray me again, even if I have to drag you down with me, I will never forgive you again. He let out a breath of relief as if a heavy burden had been lifted, then held me firmly in his arms. I promise there won't be a next time. He lowered his head and kissed my face, then kissed my lips lingeringly. I pushed against his chest. Give me some time. I don't want to today. He affectionately pressed his forehead against mine. All right. Selena, what do you want to eat? I'll make pineapple fried rice for you, okay? When you were in university, you loved my pineapple fried rice the most. I nodded. Okay. Little Selena, there's no such thing as a free dinner. Call me husband. I held back my nausea. Husband. Good girl. He kissed my forehead with satisfaction. Your husband is going to cook for his baby. Watching his back as he walked toward the kitchen, my eyes were filled with icy killing intent. I had not wanted to take revenge on him. I had only wanted a divorce, but he used my mother to threaten me. 7 years of feelings. 3 years of marriage. At this moment, not a single trace of affection remained. He finished making the pineapple fried rice, plated it exquisitely, and fed it to my mouth with a small spoon. I opened my mouth, put it in, and chewed. Tears fell like pearls as I deliberately acted sentimental. It still tastes the same as back then. The pineapple fried rice he made really did still taste like it had in the past. But in my mouth, it tasted bitter. His heart suddenly clenched with pain. He put down the plate, lowered his head, and kissed me. His voice was hoarse, as if he truly regretted it and knew he was wrong. Selena, it was my fault. I was bad. I sniffled. Are you still going to feed me? He hurriedly picked it back up and continued feeding me. I obediently ate more than half of it. He let out a long breath of relief. Chapter 11. After that day, we seemed to gradually return to the way things used to be. He returned my phone, tablet, computer, and all my electronic devices to me. I did not contact my mother right away. I knew he was a very suspicious person. Even if I wanted to do something, I had to wait until he believed that I had truly forgiven him. I also did not change too quickly, nor did I take the initiative to be overly attentive and please him. That, instead, made him feel at ease. 2 months later, I finally waited for my chance. He told me that he had to go to Country D to attend a business summit. He would be gone for about 5 days and told me to stay obediently at home and wait for him. Naturally, I nodded obediently. Then I turned around and contacted his sworn rival, Justin. Justin was very confused. Selena? What made you think of calling me? Do you want 20% of Alex's group shares? Justin was shocked. What? Do you need me to say it again? You want to transfer the shares to me? Yes. Conditions? I want 20% of your family's shares. I knew I could not fight Alex. Aside from stabbing him to death while he slept, this was the only method I could think of. After all, if I stabbed him to death, I would have to die too. But I was still young. I didn't want to die. Drive one wolf to fight another tiger. Let Justin and Alex fight each other. The reason I wanted 20% of Justin's family shares was very simple. I wanted to bind myself to his family. That way, Alex would not be able to touch my mother, nor would he be able to touch my own family group, over which I held absolute control. Justin's family mainly dealt in import and export trade and had influence all over the world. Justin chuckled. What makes you think I'll agree? I told the truth. Alex's group shares are worth more than your family's. And haven't you always wanted to enter his company and cooperate with them on a deeper level? Once you get this 20% of shares, you'll be a major shareholder of the consortium. You'll be able to have a say in projects. Why do you want to exchange shares with me? I want to divorce Alex. What? Justin was shocked for the second time. He holds you in his hands like he's afraid you'll fall, keeps you in his mouth like he's afraid you'll melt. And you want to divorce him? You're even transferring shares to me to stab him in the back. Are you possessed? He cheated. Huh? Justin was shocked for the third time. Damn, I knew that brat wasn't a good thing. Sure enough, his true colors finally came out. And here I thought he loved you so much and had such high moral standards. A performative personality. Now I've really seen something new. Chapter 12. A performative personality. That phrase described him so well. Wasn't Alex always performing his love for me? He made it known to everyone. Even his sworn rival thought he loved me deeply. How laughable was that? Besides the 20% share swap, you probably have other conditions too, right? Justin was a smart man and instantly guessed many bad possibilities, even illegal ones. That bastard Alex couldn't have threatened Selena, right? Otherwise, considering how well he had treated Selena all these years, Selena would not go this far to set him up. I didn't know what Justin was thinking, but he had indeed guessed correctly. My additional condition is very simple. You can definitely do it. My mother is currently traveling around the world. I only need you to send people to protect her and ensure she returns safely. No problem. What about you? What about your safety? I'll hire bodyguards immediately. Do you want me to recommend some? Then I'll trouble you. Justin moved very quickly. Half an hour later, 30 tall, strong men wearing matching black suits and black sunglasses appeared in front of me, surrounded by the bodyguards. I left. After returning to my small apartment, I video called my mother. I told my mother everything that had happened over the past few months. My mother was so furious that through the phone, from across the ocean, she cursed 18 generations of Alex's ancestors. I urged my mother to hurry back to the country with the people Justin arranged and not linger outside. When my mother learned that Alex had imprisoned me, lingering fear gripped her heart, and she quickly nodded in agreement. Chapter 13. The next day, I saw my mother. I took her to Justin's CEO office. I transferred the 20% shares to Justin. Justin transferred 20% of his family consortium's shares to my mother. I immediately took my mother to buy a fully renovated high-end villa in an upscale residential community, the kind large enough to house 60 bodyguards. Aside from the 30 male bodyguards Justin had found for me, I hired another 30 female bodyguards myself. A few days later, Alex returned to the country. He had just gotten off the plane and had not even had time to call me when he received a call from the consortium, saying that Justin had proposed holding a shareholders meeting to finalize a new plan for the MN project. Alex rushed back to the company in a fury. Justin held 20% of the shares and sat arrogantly in the large meeting room. Alex, I didn't expect that we brothers would one day sit in the same meeting room for a meeting. Who's your brother? Who allowed you into my company? Your wife transferred the shares to me. I'm a major shareholder now. Why can't I come? What did you say? What? Justin raised an eyebrow. Hard of hearing at such a young age? Do you need me to say it again? Or did you leave your hearing with your little lover when you went to Country D? Impossible. She would never do this to me. Alex was in disbelief, his heart aching to the extreme. Justin spread his hands. The meeting is halfway through. I propose changing the MN project's partner to our consortium. If you have no objections, then it's settled. Settled my ass. Alex swung his fist and smashed it toward Justin. The meeting room instantly descended into chaos. The other shareholders attending the meeting hurriedly held Alex back. Justin straightened his tie, his expression practically begging to be punched. After all these years of being suppressed by you, overshadowed by your halo, finally letting out this breath today feels amazing. Since you're so emotional, let's reschedule the meeting for tomorrow. See you tomorrow, Alex. Alex was furious enough to explode. He rushed to the new home my mother and I had bought. I was eating barbecue and watching a drama with my mother. My mother was sharing with me which type of male model was more fun. She said that once I divorced Alex, she would take me to try them all one by one. Chapter 14. Honestly, Alex's appetite was too big. In the short term, I really didn't have any interest in that area. But after a longer time, that might be hard to say. After all, once someone has tasted meat, it is hard to stay vegetarian forever. I had money, looks, and youth. Once I divorced, handsome and obedient younger men would be everywhere for me to choose from. As soon as Alex appeared, I called all 60 bodyguards over. He could not get within 3 meters of me at all. I had the bodyguards hand him the divorce agreement, then called out to him from several meters away. Sign it. If this goes to court, it won't look good for anyone. Besides, your little lover's belly won't be easy to hide for much longer, will it? He had indeed sent Lily abroad, but Lily was pregnant. After Justin received the shares I transferred to him, he investigated Alex. The news that Lily was pregnant was something Justin told me when I was dating Alex. I was still in university. During the first 2 years, we were simply in love. At most, we held hands and kissed. After every date, my clothes were always neat and proper. Later, he coaxed me into crossing that line. I was still studying and worried about getting pregnant, although he consciously used protection every time. I was still worried. So I went to the hospital and got a contraceptive injection. 1 shot could last 5 years. This was also the reason we had been married for 3 years without children. Speaking of which, the contraceptive injection would expire around Chinese New Year this year, with only a little more than 3 months left. I was glad I had gotten that shot back then. Otherwise, during the days when he imprisoned me, with how crazed he was, I would have definitely ended up pregnant. I did not want to have any further entanglement with him. He tore up the divorce agreement again. I won't agree to the divorce. Selena, go sue me. My mother cursed 18 generations of his ancestors to his face. He did not refute a single word. After taking the scolding, he was driven away in disgrace by my bodyguards. I hired a lawyer and filed for divorce in court. At the same time, Justin called me. MS, Selena, I heard your divorce isn't going very smoothly. What advice do you have? Mr. Justin? How much do you know about the grudge between Alex and me? He roughly told me that your families have had a feud since your ancestors' generation. From birth, your elders fought openly and secretly, and you couldn't compare to him in any aspect. You couldn't beat him in exams at school, lost to him at basketball, and after graduation, your business judgment wasn't as good as his either. Oh, right. You're also 2 centimeters shorter than him. You know quite a lot. So? Alex may truly love you. It won't be easy for you to divorce him. Why don't we cooperate? You accompany me in putting on an act for a month. I'll give you 10 million. And you can also disgust him while you're at it. How about it? What kind of act? Pretend to be my girlfriend. Are you joking? I'm serious. You should know that over the years, I've dated plenty of girlfriends, but I've never been serious about any of them. With my status, sooner or later I'll have to enter a marriage alliance. I've never believed in any bullshit love either. I simply want to piss him off and vent my anger. Since you and he haven't divorced yet, I can transfer the 10 million directly to your mother. Deal. I agreed to Justin's proposed cooperation not purely because I wanted to anger Alex. First of all, 10 million was still a lot of money, although the 20% of shares I held had a market value of at least several billion, and I was not short of money. As a person, who would complain about having too much money? Secondly, it was to slap Alex in the face. Didn't he love saving face? Then I would change partners every month. If he pushed me too far, I would change several in 1 month and make the trending searches every day. I refused to believe he still wouldn't divorce me. As for online backlash and trending searches, I was not afraid at all. I was not a celebrity, and I did not rely on fans for a living. I was just an ordinary rich person. Could those people gossiping online chew away my money? Besides, I still had evidence of Alex cheating. At most, the two of us were each playing our own game. Chapter 15. A few days later, I accompanied Justin to a business banquet. I wore a blue floor-length mermaid gown and appeared while holding Justin's arm. The moment we entered, the entire venue fell silent for a full minute. Immediately afterward came the sound of Alex crushing the wine glass in his hand. Red wine mixed with blood and flowed down along his palm. His eyes bloodshot. He rushed in front of Justin and me, reaching out to grab me. Justin protected me behind him. Alex, she's my date today. Acting like this is rather ungentlemanly, don't you think? She is my wife. Alex grabbed Justin by the collar. Justin curled his lips. I know. Does that affect her attending the banquet as my date? You fucking. Alex punched Justin. Justin did not indulge him either. The two of them beat each other up fiercely. I stood beside them and watched. After the fight, Justin draped one arm over my shoulder, blood staining the corner of his mouth. Selena, I'm in so much pain. Come with me to the hospital tonight. I want you to stay with me the whole time. Alex looked at me, his eyes filled with red veins. Selena, I'm injured too. As he spoke, he lunged forward to hug me. I quickly grabbed Justin and turned to leave. Selena, behind me, he raged helplessly. I sent Justin to the hospital and did indeed stay at the hospital all night. Justin lay on the hospital bed, groaning and whining. It was obvious he had really been beaten badly. I slept soundly on the caregiver bed. When I went downstairs the next day, Alex, wearing a hospital gown, blocked my way. Selena, I know you're deliberately trying to anger me. Nothing happened between you and Justin, right? I smiled. Right. The two of us just lay under a blanket and chatted innocently. Selena, you insist on acting like this, don't you? Yes. So what are you going to do about it? Before he could hug me, my 60 bodyguards rushed forward and kept him 3 meters away from me. After being imprisoned by him, I had learned my lesson. Before going downstairs, I first made sure the bodyguards had already arrived at the hospital. He once again raged helplessly. I strode away triumphantly. Within 1 month, Justin and I attended all kinds of public events together. Publicly, we claimed that we were good friends, but the rumors could no longer be suppressed. Alex could not endure all the gossip and rumors anymore, and finally agreed to sign the divorce agreement. Chapter 16. After the 1-month cooling-off period, I got the divorce certificate outside the Civil Affairs Bureau. Alex still refused to give up. Selena, Lily already aborted the child. I won't give up. I rolled my eyes at him, turned around, and left. A few days after the divorce, I started keeping an obedient and well-behaved college boy. I took him to all kinds of clubs to have fun. Alex completely lost it. He blocked me outside my home. Selena, how can you go to that kind of place to find men? Don't you think it's dirty? I had only taken the college boy to clubs. It was not as if I had found him there, but I couldn't be bothered to explain. Instead, the college boy beside me looked deeply wronged. Sis, I'm still in university. Before I met you, I was completely innocent and had never even dated anyone. How can this man say that about me? This little scheming pretty boy made Alex even more furious. I happily coaxed the college boy. Alex, apologize to my boyfriend. Boyfriend? Alex was angry, furious, and heartbroken. I'm your husband. Ex-husband. I corrected him. The college boy clingily rested his head on my shoulder. Sis, Your ex-husband has such bad manners. Unlike me, I would never be so rude to others. You're so beautiful and so wonderful. How did you even fall for him back then? How does he deserve you? Alex violently yanked the college boy away from me and raised his fist to punch him. I pulled the college boy behind me to protect him, then slapped Alex backhanded. Alex's eyes were completely red, and he looked at me with tears in his eyes and a heartbroken expression. You hit me for a male escort? Apologize. I struck him right where it hurt. Of course. He refused. My tone was forceful. Either apologize or get lost. Alex gritted his teeth. I'm sorry. Happy now? I held the college boy's hand and turned to leave. Alex chased after me and grabbed my wrist. I already apologized. Oh, I pursed my lips. You apologized. But you still need to get lost. Alex still wanted to pester me. My 60 bodyguards arrived. He stayed downstairs outside my home all night. The next day, he saw the hickey the college boy had deliberately left on my neck. His heart felt as if it had been carved apart by knives. Holding my hand, he choked up and begged me, Selena, you cheated too. We're even now, okay? I feel terrible during this time. I haven't been able to eat or sleep. Whenever I close my eyes, all I see are the days we spent together. I made a mistake, and I've already paid the price. Please, Selena, give me one chance, okay? Selena, belated affection is worth less than grass. Of course, I would never go back to him. I shook him off and went traveling around the country with my mother. Yes, around the country. I didn't like long-haul flights, and I felt that the scenery of our motherland was uniquely beautiful. There was no need to go abroad for fun. Chapter 17. Half a year later, I returned to the capital. Alex still came every few days. He knew that during this trip, I had changed quite a few handsome young men who accompanied me. But after I returned to the capital, there was no one by my side anymore. This discovery made him wildly overjoyed. Perhaps, just like him, I had played enough and wanted to return to the family. This thought took root and sprouted madly in his mind. He came even more often, even though every time, he could not get close to me and could only watch me from afar for a while. Later, he discovered that my belly was getting bigger and bigger. He felt a pain more devastating than anything he had ever experienced before. From behind my bodyguards, he screamed hoarsely and questioned me. Whose child is it? I supported my waist. None of your damn business. The child did not belong to any of the men I had kept. It was from premium stock I had spent a lot of money selecting from a sperm bank. How could I possibly believe in love again? Wasn't keeping the child and ditching the father wonderful? Me, my mother, and my daughter. What a happy and complete family. Men were fine for fun. There was no need to bring them home. Alex completely collapsed. He crouched on the ground, clutching his own hair, muttering brokenly, You can't do this to me. Selena, you said you loved me. You said you would love me forever. You can't do this to me. You can't. Alex's mind became more and more dazed. In the end, he got into a car accident. He died. Completely and thoroughly dead. Just as he had once sworn so solemnly, if he ever betrayed me, he would be hit by a car the moment he stepped outside. When I heard the news, my heart skipped for a moment. It was not because I still loved him. It was only a sigh of emotion. He had not mistreated me all these years. From the very beginning, when I learned he had cheated, my goal had only been divorce. I had never truly thought of making him fulfill his oath and die. So, people really should not make vows carelessly. The heavens might actually hear them. As for Lily, she had been tied up by Alex's people and taken to the hospital to abort the child. Alex gave her a sum of money and forbade her from returning to the capital. Originally, she took Alex's money and went to another first-tier city, crafting herself a rich, fair-skinned beauty persona. She successfully latched onto a wealthy businessman, who became utterly obsessed with her and was in the middle of divorcing his wife to marry her. Then Alex died. Alex's parents flew into a rage. I had money and a high level of protection, and my mother was also a major shareholder of the consortium. They could not take revenge on me, so they aimed their anger at Lily. Lily was kidnapped, and her face was slashed. The wealthy businessman despised her for being disfigured and abandoned her. But all these rotten matters had nothing to do with me. Later, My daughter was born, a soft, delicate little dumpling. My mother's heart and mind were completely occupied by the newborn little one. The three of us lived happily together as a family.